afternoon. For today, it's a pretty good day. We're on board the MSC Divina, the wonderful cruise ship, beautiful cruise ship.
Yeah,
in this video
gorgeous.
here, we're going to show you everything this cruise ship has to offer, from the bars and the drinks to the food and the restaurants, everything there is to do on board. I go by the legend, joined by my wonderful girlfriend Molly, and we're starting off here in the atrium. You can see the big glass elevators and lots of seating. It's a 3-level atrium on decks 5, 6, and 7 in the middle of the ship. One thing I really like is that on each level of the atrium, there's a bar.
Yes. So you can always listen to the music going on in the atrium, grab a seat next to the bar.
I also think that the atrium has the comfiest chairs anywhere on the ship.
Oh, yes.
Now, there's all those bars on the various levels. There's also a lot of nuts and bolts things here in the atrium. On floor 5, you got guest services, which always has a line. On deck 6, you have your next cruise desk, where you can book a cruise while on a cruise and get like double points and some onboard credit. And also on deck 6 is where you can do shore excursions. Now, one thing that's on all the MSC ships, they have these stairs in the atrium with these Swarovski crystals on them.
Gorgeous. And these ships, MSC has probably the prettiest ships, I think.
Indeed.
Hands down.
And let's go check it out. On the Lido deck is where you'll find the solarium on board, which for our sailing has been very, very important because we've had some really bad weather. We've been missing ports, and having the retractable roof means this can operate pretty much any weather.
Yeah, the outdoor pool, completely empty. And here, very busy.
Yeah. Now it is a little loud in here. You do have 3 big hot tubs. There's also a bar down below. And over there is ping pong and foosball. I also like in the solarium area, they have these really, really nice tile mosaics, and they have a bunch of them. We're currently on deck 6, which is the piazza area, and it's like the main shopping hub. Also a very pretty section of the ship as well.
Gorgeous. I keep saying that, but it is really pretty.
We just walked past the duty-free liquor store, which is something that's important on the ship. MSC does do their own brand of limoncello and meloncello.
Yeah.
And you can buy that over there.
I really like the melon.
And I love this area of the ship. It feels very, I want to say like Las Vegas Mall, like you're at the Venetian or something.
Yeah, with the stars and the sky.
Yep. There's also music in here. One thing that's fun about this, the piazza's open from like 6 a.m. till 1 in the morning, and there's free snacks. So you get little sandwiches or cakes. There's also going to be a bar. Now, one thing with MSC, a lot of the bars will also have like espresso machines, so you can get fancy coffee at almost every single bar. And then lots and lots of shops.
Yeah, of course it's a sea day, so they have the shops out.
That's a pretty cool store. It's got its own throne.
Expensive.
In the piazza area, there's a cigar lounge. That's something pretty different on the ship. Oh man, it's a beautiful space in here. Now, I'm not really a cigar smoker, so this wouldn't be for me. But man, it is so pretty in here. All right, now in this next segment here, we're going to talk about all this stuff you can find on the outdoor decks of the MSC Divina. Unfortunately, the weather on my sailing was not great. There was like some 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, and man, that would not make for good audio. So I have to voice this a little bit over. Pool area I thought was very, very nice. They had a lot of hot tubs, which is always good on a cruise ship, including 2 you'll find on the level above the pool deck. The pool deck was good. Wasn't really used for much just because of the weather on our sailing. Like you can see this big jumbotron here. Well, that didn't play anything the entire ship, but it is there. I'm sure they probably use it on nicer weather sailings. But I thought the pool deck was very solid. And of course, you can't have a pool deck area without a pool bar. And the pool bar options were very, very solid. I like the bars a lot on this ship, as that would be a recurring theme. Also, with 2 of them, there were no waits to get drinks. Around the pool deck, there's like fake cactuses, which also helps make things a little bit pretty. And I really like the chairs. Like, these chairs were neat, man. Some of them with the covering on top so you could get a little bit of shade as you were relaxing by the pool. Now, there is one water slide on board, but it's kind of in a weird spot. It is next to the funnel, sort of like on the side of the ship. So it's not close to any of the pools on board. It is there. I believe it would run on days that it did run. It ran from about 10 in the morning till about 6 p.m. I didn't get the chance to do it on the sailing. It was only operating on 1 out of the 3 days of my voyage, just based on the weather. But always good for a cruise ship to have a water slide on it. And yeah, I imagine a lot of people don't end up finding this one based on where it is on the ship. And there is a sports court area as well. It is set up for soccer or half-court basketball. Now, I believe they probably use this for youth activities as well as some normal stuff as well. As you can see with the winds, it was not used for much on this sailing. But I want to say there are 2 hot tubs right near the sports court, and those hot tubs were always empty. So if you're looking for a more private hot tub area and you don't mind the sound of basketball or soccer, that would probably be this place to go. Also on the upper decks, they have shuffleboard. I'm guessing that's a weird European version of shuffleboard, certainly not the one I am familiar with. In the back of the pool, oh man, look at the waves. This is actually an adults only area, or a wave pool, depending on the day we're filming it. And this was a neat area of the ship. It was cool. There was a lot of tables and chairs not being used because of the winds, but they're supposed to be adults only. And they have a really, really nice bar back here. I assume when it is, busier and people are in the pool, they would probably kick the kids out, or maybe not. Up on the top of the ship on deck 18, there is the executive solarium area. Now, this is an area of the ship you need to be an Aurea guest or above to go into. On the day I was at the pool, well, there was nobody guarding it, so I walked up there to check things out. Big old hot tub, and if you're on one of the fancy guests, you want to get away from the kids maybe, or just a more private experience, might be worth paying extra for. And the kids club here, it's adorable, it's outside, and it's Smurf themed. On decks 6 and 7 in the front of the ship is where you'll find the Pantheon Theater. Same name as the wonderful roller coaster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And it's a very big theater, pretty comfy chairs.
Yes, good sight lines for everywhere almost.
Yeah. We're on a 3-night sailing. On the first night, there was a show called Extreme, which was, unfortunately, we've had some weather issues, so you had to do like a modified version. But that had like acrobats, and it had, these guys were supposed to do like trampoline basketball tricks.
It's a really good show.
Yeah, we saw it the last time we were on the ship a couple years ago. On day 2, there was ABBA the Songbook, which was exactly what you think it's going to be. People singing ABBA songs, dressed like ABBA, for about a half an hour. Today is a day we were supposed to be at their private island, but we ended up being at sea because of the weather. But they had a really good magician that performed on a matinee show at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
That was really fun. That was a good way to break up the day.
He did a lot of different tricks. He also did hand puppets. It was a very unique show.
Yeah, so some big stuff too, like big set pieces. So that was cool. And then tonight is a Legends of Rock, so a big rock and roll show. Right now, we're on deck 7 at La Cantina del Bacchio, which I think is probably my favorite bar on the ship. This is the beer and wine bar, and it's a really cool time because I love trying craft beers and beers I've never had, and they have a really, really great beer list, and lots of things that I've never heard of before. Like I'm currently drinking a wonderful Belgian beer.
I'm drinking an Italy, Italian.
Yeah, and they have like high-value brands too, like Chimay, La Chouffe, beers from Italy, Belgium, Germany.
If you are not into beers, they also have a really good selection of wine, and you can do a wine tasting, and you get some meats here. These meats are not for free, as you have asked twice now.
Yeah, and then they also do upcharge pizza over here. So if you didn't want to go, pizza's gonna be free at the buffet pretty much most hours of the day. But if you want like your own pie and probably put your kind of toppings on it, you can buy it here in the evening. And the space is just really pleasant.
They also have a lot of games in this area.
Hey, you can play
Trivial Pursuit.
in French. On deck 7, right in the middle of the ship, is the sports bar. As a big fan of sports, I do like this. They got the mini bowling you play. I think it's like $7 or so. We are traveling on NFL season. They do have the games on, which is good.
It's interesting though, there's never been sound on for any of the games that we've seen.
There is food available in here for purchase. And I don't think they get like every NFL game, but they will get some.
It's like chicken wings, nachos, things like that.
Yeah. On deck 16 is the arcade area on the ship known as Virtual World. They've got this really neat F1 simulator. They've also got a Triotech XD theater. And they've got a lot of movies.
They have a bunch of movies.
Yeah. If you want to do the racing simulator, that's $12. The Triotech rides are $10.
I think we've done most of them. I don't know about the toy store.
Yeah, we've done a lot of their stuff. Also, there's a small arcade area up here as well. And one of the smaller arcades you'll find, you got the Aliens Armageddon game, some cranes, 2 different air hockey type games. And this is also where you can enter the teen club.
Which I love the graffiti and artwork.
Yeah, if you were a teen, it's down those stairs. On deck 7 in the middle of the ship is the Golden Jazz Lounge. Now this is, during the afternoon, is the trivia bar. And the evening, it's live music.
Yes, I love the lighting package.
Yeah.
With this lounge at night, it's gorgeous.
Very pretty.
The only bad thing is, these seats, not comfortable.
Yeah, some of these
There's
guys are
not
a little
any
rough.
good seats in this lounge.
The bar runs really long hours too.
Yes, but this is the place that I've been hanging out the most on the ship currently.
Yeah. All the way in the back of the ship on deck 7 is where you'll find the Black and White Lounge. One of the larger lounges on the ship.
These chairs not comfortable, by the
No.
way. Don't sit there. I did it. Big mistake.
Yeah, big lounge. There'll be a party band that'll play in here in the evenings. Sometimes there's karaoke in here. In the event of any inclement weather, if there's supposed to be activities on the pool deck, they get moved in here. So there was like a cornhole competition, deck parties were in here, so it's a very pretty lounge. Big old bar over there.
Yeah, that's really nice. Especially for the deck parties that get moved inside.
Yeah, I love the lights. That is very snazzy.
And those chairs, pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I like the boost too, like right against the window.
Yeah.
There are two main dining rooms here on the MSC Divina. We were assigned to the Black Crab, which is located on decks 5 and 6, right near the atrium in the middle of the ship. We're going to show you what dinner is like here on night 3 of our adventure. As you might expect with this ship, the dining room is very, very pretty as well. 2 levels. Yeah, it's just rather nice. Food quality in here has been really good all cruise long. And tonight is Italian night. MSC, of course, an Italian cruise line. The menu has arrived here on Italian night. 4 different starters. Ooh, gently braised short ribs, one of the entrees. Along with lots of Italian classics. And there are desserts as well. If you turn the menu over, there's going to be more stuff on the other side, like some upcharge food items. And then the comfort classics, which will be there every night of your cruise. If you just want mac and cheese or meatloaf, fried chicken, shrimp cocktail, as well as some wines that are suggested. And dinner begins with a bread course. I really like these spread here. It's super soft, very tasty. And hard to go wrong with these cheesy kind of breadsticks. The appetizer course has arrived. I got the antipasto complete with prosciutto. Molly went with a tomato soup. I love the presentation on their soup dishes. The main course has arrived. Molly got one of her favorite dishes, spaghetti carbonara.
It's amazing, I love it.
I want something a little bit wacky, the pan-fried steak covered in tomato sauce, served with vegetables and mashed potatoes. And all good meals. And with dessert, Molly got a wild berry cobbler, and I went traditional cheesecake with some chocolate drizzle. We are currently way up top on the ship at the Galaxy Lounge. Now, this main purpose is the ship's nightclub. We were here last night. It was really, really popular.
It was.
It was a lot of fun. We were here for probably an hour or so in there.
It's also been really rainy on our cruise, so this is a good place to see the ocean.
Yes.
Without getting rained.
Yeah, as you can see, the weather is not the greatest outside at the moment. One thing that's interesting, kind of half the lounge area up here is actually a specialty dining restaurant. This is going to be Asian and sushi on the Galaxy dining experience. And this large bar over here, that also is where you would get your drinks at the nightclub. Very crowded. On deck 6 is where you'll find the casino on board the MSC Divina. It's actually, like the rest of the ship, it's a very pretty casino. You'll find plenty of table games in here, plenty of slot machines as well. And the casino overall, I thought, felt very modern from a game standpoint. You also have some coin pusher machines, which are always fun to play. Now, one thing I enjoyed about this casino is actually a non-smoking casino, which is good. I'm not a smoker. I know a lot of people that gamble like to smoke. I do not. I don't like to be around it. So that helped me for my playing. There's also some video poker and video blackjack machines, which are my favorite things to play in the casino. And also in the casino area is a big casino bar. Important to note because this is where you'll find some of the NFL games, and that sports bar was always packed. The casino bar, not always packed. So I actually found myself watching the games in here. Overlooking the casino here on deck 7, we're at the La Luna Piano Bar, which is another one of their live music venues. Another bar as well. One thing you can tell is that the ship is very, very pretty. Like all MSC ships are really pretty. This one's no exception.
With our sailing, we've had the pianist, of course, a jazz duo, and the saxophone player is going to be playing in here tonight.
I like the saxophone guy.
Yes.
On deck 7, you'll find the photo gallery where you can buy any of the pictures you took while on board the ship.
I'm really sad because we can't show you really what it looks like when there is no photos, because it's train pictures. So it's a pretty area when there's no pictures being displayed.
And right next to that is the main upcharge restaurant, and that is the Butcher's Cut. I like how they have the menu in giant form over there. This is going to be the upcharge steakhouse. We have not dined here.
We have thought about it.
Yeah, and they do brunch as well. On deck 14 in the front of the ship is where you'll find the MSC Aurea Spa, which is the spa on board the Divina. It's a very big spa area, a very pretty spa area as well. Something I found interesting at this spa, they actually have their own bar. Now, it's not going to sell like alcoholic drinks, but smoothies and other kind of like post-spa or post-workout kind of stuff. And with it being a big, pretty spa, there's plenty of rooms where they'll do all sorts of treatments and spas and manicures and pedicures and plenty of stuff like that. Now, it's not something I normally do on a cruise, so I can't tell you too much more on that end about some of the spa offerings. But I will tell you there is a thermal area with saunas and steam rooms and these loungers. Actually, it's one nice perk. If you're a returning cruiser on MSC and you've got the gold status in their loyalty program, you actually get an hour's worth of free time in the thermal suite, which actually that's a really, really nice perk. As you can see, it gets really steamy in that sauna area. This is also where you would find the gym on board, a very big gym. Would have been difficult to use the gym on my sailing as the ship was moving around quite a bit, but they have weight machines, they've got elliptical machines, and yeah, I really think if you're looking to work off that 5th buffet meal of the day, you'll have no problem doing it here on the gym. On deck 14 in the back of the ship is where you'll find the buffet on board the MSC Divina. Let's go check out what's for dinner. Let's kick things off with probably my favorite part of the buffet, and that is the pizza. They have pizza for breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night, afternoon snack. They're an Italian cruise line, and their pizza quality is really good. And some of these pizzas change out every day. That one, I had that for afternoon snack. That was very, very good. We got a sausage pizza. Oh, we got a traditional pepperoni. That looks good. That looks good. Oh, this one I like, the white cream sauce and bacon, and then a traditional cheese. There are 2 different bars on board in the buffet area, one in the front of the buffet and one in the back of the buffet. Now they're kind of very limited beer and wine bars, and coffees and espressos as well. Right near the front, there's also a area for fruit, either sliced or whole. Right near the front of the buffet is also the grill area. Now, this is another one that will run during those late night hours. Pretty much very similar for every single meal. This is your hot dogs and hamburgers. Today they got a grilled chicken. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, that does.
French fries, which if you get them when they're fresh, I've had some really good fries. Also had some not so great fries. And then hot dogs, little fried onions. And is that like a chicken filling?
I think it's a filling.
There's also a selection of cold sandwiches. Salad is not really my jam, but the build your own salad bar is actually rather impressive. It's an area of the buffet I always like. There's a selection of like cold cuts and cheeses, and the cheeses will change up like every day. There's some really good Gouda. Today it's Asiago, and that looks really good. And their meats are also very tasty. It's the pasta station. Sometimes for lunch they have like 3 or 4 different types of pasta. Today there's just one. It's a Creole pasta. We got some vegetables, some white rice. Ooh, mashed potatoes with fire-roasted red bell pepper pesto. That sounds interesting. More grilled vegetables, some fancier fish. We got a meat that just showed up. And then something on the carving station. The carving station today, it is a roast beef. A selection of breads. The focaccia, my personal favorite.
Really good. The breadsticks are also good.
There is a coffee and juice station. Now, I believe these do run about 24 hours or so. Interesting kind of juices they have on offer. There's a section of the buffet dedicated to vegetarian and healthy options. Now, some of these I believe we did see earlier, some of them we did not. Like this one, steamed poke. The dessert area seems to be a little lacking today. All the way in the back of the buffet area, you get something that is just absolutely adorable. The kids buffet. Look how cute this is. And this has been a pretty similar food all cruise long. You know, very kid-friendly stuff. You know, you do have to watch out though, because some of their signage is not correct. Like these look like, I'm not sure if they're chicken nuggets or fish nuggets, but the sign says sauteed broccoli. I'd also recommend coming towards the back of the buffet, as that's, I feel like it's the least chaotic back here, and there's more seating. You've got this kind of like a lobby area with some weird art here on deck 7.
A lot of weird art. It's pretty though.
Right off the main atrium area on deck 7, there's a couple of shops. There's that one over there for perfume. but it's also where you'll find my favorite shop on board the ship, and that is the MSC logo store, where you can get all your MSC souvenirs. Let's go see what they are having for sale today. Little bears. That's fun.
I think these are really cool, like the scooters.
And then this is the mascot for the MSC cruise line.
He's so adorable.
I believe his name is Do Re Mi. Got some cool bags as well. Flip flops. I like that they sell robes. Like, these robes look nice.
They do.
Other robes. Blankets. More fun stuff here. You can get MSC socks. You can get some sand buckets if you're going to the beach. MSC rubber duckies, a pullback cruise ship, little kids' clothes.
Does anyone use pencil cases anymore?
I don't know. That's fun.
That's cute.
And look at that. You can get like an MSC plushie chef or a captain. Right off the main atrium on deck 6, you do have a couple more shops. The first one, not the most fun thing for me. This is all going to be like jewelry and sunglasses. Watches. But
the other one is.
The other one's super fun. This is going to be the candy shop on board.
I love the M&M's.
Yeah, candy shop and toy shop. And it's kind of fun because there'll be like a lot more European candies. So it's like things that you might not get very commonly in America. And then toys as well. But it's pretty fun. You can get giant things of gummy bears.
An elephant that's filled with candy.
You can buy an elephant that's full of lollipops. Kinder Smurf stuff. Like,
they have a lot of Kinder.
Yeah. It's just a fun store. You've also got a lot of Lego stuff in here.
Legos and small toys.
Kind of an odd location. Right next to the casino, there is a very, very small arcade, home to just 4 video games. But some of them are pretty cool, like this motorcycle game, which is only $1.50.
Yeah, that's a good price.
Yeah, it looks super fun. In the front of the ship on the top decks is where you will find the yacht club area. Now the yacht club's kind of their ship within a ship concept for your highest spending suite guests. They also get their own restaurant as well as their own lounge. I think there might be a solarium and pool. I really don't know because, well, we're staying in an interior. And last but certainly not least, we were in an interior cabin, 10164. Very functional cabin.
It is.
Bed was comfortable. I think the best part of this cabin was very, very cold.
It is. It's a very small cabin, though.
Yes. And there's also like weird parts, like the TV is way too small.
Yes. And it has 20 channels. I think only like 8 actually show.
Yes. There's a mini bar. This thing is locked, so...
and it has been locked the entire cruise.
Yes. We bring this fan on all the ships, but we really didn't need it because this one was so cold. Plenty of storage in here. This one, if you open it up, it does have a lot of shelves, as well as the safe. And then tons and tons of hangers as well. I will say I did enjoy the bathroom. I thought it was pretty solid.
It's a good functional bathroom.
Yes. Love not having this shower curtain, and also like these doors move. So like if you're doing your business, you can put it one way. If you're showering, you can go the other way. It's very, very smart use of space.
It is.
Also, I love some of the cartoons on this ship, like this one here, that tells you to test the water. And yeah, very functional cabin, very functional bathroom, and no cruise tour would be complete without the terrifying toilet noise. All right, and there we go. That'll do it for our time on the MSC Divina. A little bit of information about this cruise. It cost about $300 per person, and that cost included the cabin fare as well as the Easy Plus beverage package and Wi-Fi for the entire sailing. So as far as a value proposition, pretty good value there, getting all that. I mean, some cruise lines you go on for $300, that's pretty much what your beverage package might cost. And well, I will say we did not have the best cruise on this one. The weather was the main cause of why it was not so great. It was rainy, it was windy, it was choppy seas.
We moved a lot. The
entire sailing. We couldn't dock at Ocean Key, their private island. We couldn't even dock in Nassau. I've been on a lot of cruise ships. I've never seen a cruise ship that I've been on not be able to dock in Nassau. That's how rough this weather was. So it was kind of a 3-day cruise to nowhere, and it kind of felt like you were in a washing machine for 72 hours.
Yeah.
But with everything, because you still have some good stuff on the ship and some not as great stuff on the ship. I think the one that stands out for me, I thought the food quality was pretty good, both in the buffet and the main dining room. I thought the quality of food is better than you'll see on some other cruise lines.
I agree. The food quality is really, really good. I like the variety of music. They have a lot of different ones. A saxophone player. I've never seen a saxophone player on a cruise ship. They also had
a really cool trio, which was more like a vocalist and a guy playing bass and a guy just playing like percussion stuff. That was a great band. I like the party band. Mm-hmm. And there was just a lot of it. It was really fun. Like, there wasn't as much activities on this ship because MSC tries to do like all sorts of different languages, and music is kind of a universal language. So just go from lounge to lounge to lounge, and we need to find a band that's playing a set that you like.
Yep.
I would also say the liquor quality was pretty good. We did upgrade for $20 per person over to the premium extra package, which included everything up to $16. And man, there were some good drinks on this ship. And like pricey liquors too. Like I drank some Macallan Quest, which is a really expensive whiskey. Like you try to buy that in the stores, it's like $100, $150 a bottle. And you could get that and get doubles on the beverage package. Same with the Rum JM, which is a rum that costs like $75 a bottle. And so like, if you want to kind of beat the beverage plan and you like those high-end liquors, take a look, because you might be able to really make out pretty well, especially if your cruise doesn't go anywhere.
Yes, the doubles were really nice then. Mm-hmm. For me, pizza. The pizza, MSC has one of the best pizzas, free pizzas at sea, hands down. They always change. Some pizzas, of course, they always have cheese and a pepperoni, but they have multiple different ones that change.
I would say skip the bacon and egg breakfast pizza. It was an interesting idea.
Very unique, though.
Yes, but I never need to unique it again. The pizza, also in the buffet, the cheese on like the lunch buffet, they had like different cheeses that would change up every day, and those were wonderful.
It's not fresh mozzarella like some of the ships, but they did have really good cheeses.
And we did talk about how it was a bit of a bummer how to miss those ports for weather, but the cruise line did give each guest $100 of onboard credit. So, like, would I like to go to the private island? Yes, but at least they made it up to us. Like, we were recently on a Royal Caribbean ship that skipped Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and they gave the guests nothing back.
Yeah, we did not get our port fees, taxes,
also, I thought it was weird, too. Like, it was refundable onboard credit, so you had to go to, like, guest services, and the guy paid you out in cash, like you were going to the casino. It was different.
One nice thing is they had a magic show. The magic show was really, really good.
Yeah, and it was also kind of cool being like a big theater production show at 2 p.m.
Yes, and he did way more than just the normal magic show, I feel like. He did a lot of
hand puppety stuff
and stuff like that.
And some big set pieces in there, too. A lot of times it's just like close-up stuff on a cruise ship. No, he did a lot. I know, big one for you. The room was super cold.
Oh, yes, I didn't use my fan at all. It was really nice. I used to bring a fan on cruise ships.
On this particular cruise ship, there's not many tables for two in the main dining room. When we got on the ship, there was like a desk you could go to request and do like dining changes. So we went up there, we requested a table for two. They said, hey, unfortunately, we don't have anything. And if we do have something, we'll let you know. So the first night we did a table for 5 or a table for 8. And I hate that. I hate making awkward conversations. Dinners on the ship does take a while. And I want to talk to Molly. I don't want to talk to people I don't know about their day and what they do for a living. And what was really cool on day 2, we were thinking like, oh, let's not go through that ordeal again. Let's just go to the buffet. But we got a knock at our door like 30 minutes before dinner with a little card that said, hey, we moved you to a table for 2. This is your new table. So good for them for following up on things.
No, it was really nice. For me, it was a beautiful ship.
Yeah, I'm sure we said that a lot.
Yes, it was very pretty. I think I said pretty like 7 times during the ship tour.
Yeah.
Very modern and
sleek.
everything.
Yep. Really great to take pictures in. If you're like an Instagram picture taker, like lots of great areas on the ship to take those. I love the foreign beer bar. This might have been because we were on like the first sailing after it came back from Europe, but I liked having all these beers that you don't normally see in America outside of like going to a Total Wine and paying like a good amount of money for them. But there's stuff from Italy, stuff from Belgium, stuff from Germany, stuff from France. So like I really enjoyed that as a fan of like trying different beers.
I was shocked of how well this ship handled crowds because
Yes.
we were all on board.
And the sailing was sold out.
Yeah, the pool were closed for most of because of the weather. So the outdoor pool, no one was on the main deck or outside deck, I should say.
Sun chairs, nothing, no.
Sun chairs, there was none out because of the weather. And I didn't feel much crowds at all inside.
No, I was fearing I was going to fear bar lines, but no, it was really not a problem. I wonder if a lot of people were just sick in their cabins or...
Maybe, but it handled the crowds very well.
Let's do a staff shout out here. Nelson, who works in the activities team, fantastic cruise employee. Very, very outgoing. You could tell he loves his job, and that makes the guests love their experience that much more.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and that's the good. Unfortunately, with the good, they do come some not as good. And there was a bunch on this sailing. I thought the activity lineup was weak, especially when we had 2 sea days pretty much. And they never went and added more activities and gave you a new itinerary lineup, which a lot of cruise ships will do. There's no app on the MSC Divina. It's too old of a ship for an app. But they never went and said hey, hit guest services, or we're delivering a new itinerary with all sorts of added activities. No, it's just here's what we're planning to do anyway.
They did add a bingo and an arts and crafts, but they did it over the speaker. So if you weren't listening or if you were in a crowded area, you couldn't hear that.
Also with the announcements, man, some of them, especially the important ones, they'll go into your cabin and they'll do them in English and then they'll do them in 4 other languages. So you get to hear, we can't go to the private island in Spanish, Italian, French, and German. And you really can't sleep through that.
Yeah. Dinner, as we said, did take 2 hours.
Yeah, night 1 and 2, it took 2 hours. Night 3, it was around 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. So pack your patience. Know that you're getting into a long format meal.
While our cabin was very cold, some lounges got very, very hot. The sports bar, which is somewhere where they were showing the NFL games in there, and I love watching football, so that's a place I wanted to be, but it was kind of, there was always a lot of people in there, ceilings were low, and it got very, very warm.
For me, the TV channels.
Oof.
There was probably 5 TV channels that weren't MSC, safety videos and shore excursions.
I think I counted 9 when I looked.
9?
And some of them are in different languages. And especially on a sailing like this, where you probably spend a little bit more time in the cabin than you're used to because of, whether it be seasickness, boredom, and oh man, they got 9 channels you could watch.
And no movie channels.
No. Something I thought was a bit concerning, their buffet was very poorly labeled. About half the items I think were labeled correctly. So if you have allergy concerns, you would have to go to an employee and get the chef to walk you through everything, because it would be I think we saw it on the video, something was labeled oh, that's sauteed vegetables, and it was chicken nuggets.
Yeah. I do think they do try to fill up the buffet with whatever they have left over. And I don't think they remove the signs or put out a new sign for the item that they replaced.
But some cruise ships you go on, they're very, very allergy conscious and, making sure everything's double checked, triple checked. This one, I did not get that feeling. Now, I'm lucky I don't really have allergies, but, it could be concerning if you do.
Now, I did say you didn't feel the crowd level. However, the elevators by the atrium, long waits, and they were small elevators, and it got crowded, and there was multiple times that an elevator came and you couldn't fit on it.
And that was only really happened at the atrium elevators. So if you go to any one that wasn't those glass elevators in the middle of the ship, just avoid those. If take the extra 2 minutes, walk to a different elevator. That's what we were doing by the end, and that worked so much better. One thing, man, this was annoying. I talked about that sports bar. That had sports on. Other lounges, like the Jazz Bar or the Black and White Lounge, they would just have the TVs playing the same 10-minute loop of MSC commercials on repeat over and over and over and over again. I get it. Yes, Mark Sanchez, who used to play on the Jets, went to the private island that I didn't go to. I don't need to see this over and over and over again. I guess on going along with the TVs in the lounges too, the one in the trivia bar where they did visual trivia, very small TV.
Yeah, and as you said, MSC is known for languages, so the activities that they do are more dancing or visual trivias, things that multiple languages can easily do. So it's very small.
We got mischarged 4 different times somehow. We had the beverage package. We ordered nothing but things on the beverage package. And I checked my account one day and I had 4 different charges from 4 different bars. We had to wait in the guest services line. And then like, yep, you shouldn't have got charged for any of these. I'm taking them all off. But make sure you look at your account because it's way easier to dispute those charges on the ship than if you get home and you see them.
Yes. We had that problem one time.
Yeah.
And for me, the last day leaving the ship.
We were late pulling into Miami again.
Yes.
With the weather, like we probably got in around 9, it should probably docked around 10 o'clock.
Don't know if this is normal or not. Of course, everyone had to leave their stateroom. They did give us a little bit of extension.
Yeah.
But we were in the quote-unquote line, which was just a mob of people, for about 2.5 hours before we actually left the ship.
And it was a miserable experience. There was really like no crowd control. There were multiple fights that I heard about.
People pushing and shoving.
Yelling.
Screaming at each other.
And just like no security, no people. And just like, I've never seen a debarkation handled so incredibly poorly.
And there was a crew member. It was a spa crew member who you don't usually see during that. Usually it's the activities and security are present. It was a spa person that was present. And
she didn't say anything.
No, she just stood there the entire time of pushing, shoving, yelling, multiple fights breaking out. It was intense.
The debarkation process was absolutely horrible.
It was the first cruise back in Miami, so maybe something with that, and we got delayed. But that was a miserable experience.
It could not have been handled any worse. I really couldn't think about that. All right, but there we go. That's the good. That is the bad on the MSC Divina. Was it our favorite cruise? No. Did I make the best of it? Yes.
Yes.
Had a lot of drinks, had a lot of pizza, and overall had a pretty decent time. Now, if you got any questions about the MSC Divina, let me know in the comment section below. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you guys didn't watch videos like this, Molly and I couldn't cruise so much, and we love going on the cruise ship. So thank you, and thanks for watching.